we are here. We are live. It's another Friday night, a little after 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. Rick Ucchino, the wrestling legend himself, Dutch Mantell, and the S to the P to the 1, 2, 3, Sid Puller III here as well. And yes, we will have a special guest tonight. We are waiting for his arrival, and when he gets here, we will introduce him properly and bring him on into the show. Guys, we made it. Everybody who's in the chat, we made it. Thunderdome era SmackDown is done. Done. D-U-N. Done. We ain't got no more. We're live crowds next week. Obviously, a lot went down on this show. A lot of changes, a lot of necessary changes, a lot of positive changes, and it all had to do with the big news that broke today, the big unfortunate news that broke today, which broke a lot of hearts, both wrestling fans and people in the back of light. Bayley, the MVP of the pandemic era. I don't think, and you fight me on that. If anybody wants to fight me on that, I will fight you. The MVP of the pandemic era injures her knee, freak accident, reportedly in a training incident at the PC this week. Done for 9 months. Apparently, a torn ACL, so it could be longer than 9 months, which means after she missed WrestleMania this year, she very likely could miss WrestleMania next year. Oh,
Rick,
it's just terrible.
Rick, why you got to be so aggressive? He started off the show by wanting to fight a bunch of people.
That's Rick for you.
Hell, I ain't want to fight him now. Good thing you're a long way away from me, Rick. Me and you'd lock up, buddy. Right now.
We can do that. We can do the nice collar elbow tie up. We can do that.
All right, what did you think of the show, guys? We got a lot to talk about today.
Yes, absolutely, we do. It was kind of a gut punch starting it off there, Sid, with Bayley. A lot of things had to change now. I mean, what do you think of the direction overall that they went?
I am on the fence about it. I like the fact that they addressed the issue with the SmackDown roster, which was, where are all the women? So they influxed it with a whole bunch of ladies between, Zelina Vega last week and the ladies that they added to the roster this week. I think they improved the women's division on the SmackDown roster, but I think that Bayley's loss is going to be huge for them. She's been the MVP of the pandemic. She's proven herself to be one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. So I'm sad to see her, out of action, torn ACL, it seems, out for 9 months. So I'm hoping, maybe even more than that because of the injury that she has.
She still has to get her surgery, which probably won't be able to happen for another month. And then you're going 9 months from August at that point. So
it just makes me shake my head even more that they didn't give her a match at this year's WrestleMania, because it's like she's going to miss the next WrestleMania more than likely. Why didn't you just give her a match at this WrestleMania? I'm going to digress about that, but, I just hope she has a speedy recovery.
Well, it may be a blessing in disguise. I hate to say that when somebody gets hurt, but there is a silver lining in this somewhat. That Toni Storm girl, they debuted tonight or run the little video.
Yeah, Tony's coming soon to SmackDown. Yeah,
where is she from? Give me the rundown on her.
She's from New Zealand.
Thank you. I knew it wasn't Australia. I knew it wasn't Australia. I know you don't want to get those two confused. I was like, wait a minute, which one is it from? Yeah, she's from New Zealand. She's very young. She's 24.
24 years old.
24 years old, same. She has her and Rhea Ripley are Batman and Joker. They have been following each other everywhere throughout their independent careers and up through NXT UK and NXT. Now they're both going to be on the main roster on separate brands, at least until the draft comes along. So we'll see what happens there. But she is a former NXT UK women's champion. She is incredibly talented. I don't think they've quite utilized her correctly on NXT, but I think she's going to come in and make a major impact on SmackDown, mostly because they have to.
Well, she looked great in that little clip they ran of her. I mean, it was only like 15 seconds, right? 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But you immediately, they made her look like a star, which is their job.
Right.
And she looked really, really good. Guys, before we go any farther, we had a good friend of mine pass away this week. The Dale Wilkes, good friend of mine, and the Patriot. And I would just like to send condolences to his family and his friends. He was a really, really good guy. A great athlete too. A great athlete.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. It's been a week of bad news, and that one definitely takes the cake for sure.
Bad news for Bayley. What did she do? Was it her knee? I heard it was her. She pointed. She had her knee.
Yeah. So she was. The report is that she was doing just chain wrestling, just a chain wrestling, drill at the PC, and freak accident. Don't know what that freak accident was. Don't know who she was in there with. But I mean, Dutch, you know this. You know these things happen. I saw a girl one time snap her ankle doing fast bumps. She just got her foot caught in a mat and snapped it in 3 places. It's just freak things happen. Sometimes you know what happens, and it absolutely sucks. So we do wish Bayley the absolute best. But we do have a lot of people in the chat right now who are wondering where our special guest is.
Yeah, where is he?
They want it. Well, he's waiting. He's waiting for us now. He is in here. He is ready to go. He was the man who once led the Prototype right up to Mark Cuban. You don't know who the Prototype is? Google it for you younger folks. He is the king. He is the king. Kenny, how are we doing, good sir? Welcome to SmackDown.
I have never been treated more rudely than I've been treated tonight. You got a big star that Dutch Mantell persuaded to come onto this show. I've been setting. You sent me 2 joint. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You begged me to come on.
All right. So maybe it went that way.
Okay.
So I'm back. I'm backstage at some show that ended an hour and 43 minutes ago. I got 2 join links. So he writes me from his own account. Where are you? We started the show. So I come here. I get in here about a minute into the show. And I'm sitting here for 7.5 minutes with my dominant fan base overwhelming your chat room. And I'm sitting here like a stump on a log somewhere. And I know my buddy Dutch is waiting for me to get in here to cast my 2 cents worth. And here I'm one of the biggest fans of 700 WLW radio it ever was. I go back to Bill Cunningham. I go back to the McConnell guy. What's his name? Mike McConnell.
Mike McConnell. He's now the morning
Gary Burbank. Are any of those guys still there? It's been a long time.
McConnell took over for Jim Scott. McConnell's in the morning.
Jim Scott, yeah, absolutely. Remember Jim Scott? Absolutely.
I think Jim Scott started in the tower.
In all honesty, it's an honor to be here. I love my friend Dutch. Dutch and I have never done a podcast together. And I agreed to do a home and home. I want to come here and do your all show. I'd love for the 3 of you. Now, I don't know the young man to the right. I need to learn more about him, but we're going to have to get you on our show sometime and see what your fan base can do for my show. I see nothing but my fans in here. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, they are here. They are here to bow down to the king, and we're not talking about Corbin.
I saw one of those jackasses, DJ Eric, donated $5 on your show tonight, and I didn't get a nickel out of him tonight, so I'm already not happy about that.
You got to drop that super chat.
Yeah, DJ Eric. Dutch, you planning to come back to the Kentuckiana area again?
Well, when they withdraw that warrant they have on me,
I'll see what I can do. Sheriff Wydat's in here tonight. Wydat 68. He's a local sheriff here. I'll see if I can pull some strings. He brings dog food to my porch and donations for my Filipino fundraisers. I got some stroke with the sheriff. We'll get something done.
Kenny,
you might have to serve 90 days, though, because you've done a lot of stuff in Kentucky.
Well, I have, but I think the statute.
I mean, who hasn't really, honestly? Who hasn't done a lot in Kentucky?
Dutch is playing the statute of limitations card. We'll have to see how that plays out in court.
A long time ago.
It was
Kenny,
a long time ago.
Did you watch the show? What?
You seem disappointed in how the show shook out tonight.
Well, number one, Roman Reigns is probably one of the better promos they have right now, in my opinion. I mean, I don't even know where Dutch and I agree or disagree on a lot of this stuff. Roman Reigns is pretty much the man these days. I mean, he's a hell of a promo.
Yes.
But boy, tonight, Dutch, I don't know if cutting promo in front of monitors has got to be hard. But then again, we cut promos in studios all the time where there's the cameraman, the guy holding the microphone. You still got to deliver. And I did not think Roman delivered tonight, even though 9 times out of 10 he does, maybe 99 times out of 100. What did you think about tonight's opening promo?
Who you're asking?
I'm asking Dutch Mantell.
Well,
the only other guy in here that's been in the wrestling business that I know of.
I think it was adequate, and it got the job done. It may not have been one of his greatest interviews, but hey, he can only give what they give
do
him.
so much. Yeah.
So I thought it was okay.
Okay,
But
all right.
But
I expect more than okay out of Roman Reigns promos. That's my thing.
And maybe that's part of it is he set the bar so high that
he has set it high.
When he does do just an okay promo, it doesn't feel it feels worse than what an okay promo would be, even though he probably had the second best promo of the night. Sid, what about what about you?
I agree with Kenny. I felt like Jey Uso was the best promo in that whole opening segment. He
delivered.
He came out with more energy than everybody else. He kind of cut a semi-shoot, telling his brother, let's get back to work after his incident this week with the DUI. It was kind of strange seeing Jimmy Uso so heavily featured because of what happened this week as well.
I was personally shocked.
Yeah,
I thought after 4 of these things that you had to make a stand. Yeah, that's both of us.
I was stunned. I went,
especially the way. My son, the Prince, he suggested that they drag him in the ring, have Roman shoot on him, beat the crap out of him, put him out for about 6 months, get him in rehab and see if he learned his lesson. And I thought that's where they were going with it.
I thought
and then I see the hug. I said, "Here it comes, guys." When I saw the group hug, I said, "Here it comes." And then it's over. I'm going, what the hell?
All night.
Everybody
long,
go out and get drunk and drive. Hell, what the hell?
All night, I'm waiting for somebody to kick Jimmy Uso's ass. All night long, I'm waiting. And finally, it's Edge at the end of the night because they ended the show 5 minutes early, and he's just slapping holds on people to kill time. And they're like, well, all right, Jay's been in this hold long enough. Let's put it on Jimmy, too, while we're at it.
So
I was blown away.
Do you think the girls was the last addition, a last-minute addition?
Yeah.
It felt like it. It felt like it. Now the girl with the green hair I'd never seen before. I was having to ask in my chat room because I'm going to be honest with you. I, as a rule, do not watch SmackDown. I tuned in to see Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Kairi Sane when she was there. Christopher got me watching Roman Reigns because they said that he's the whole deal right now. Which after seeing it, I agree with it. But as a rule, I don't sit down and watch the whole product. So I was wondering who the girl with the green hair was and who some people were. And it seems to be some potential there, but it's hard to judge them off one appearance.
Shotzi Blackheart, if you like chaos, she's your girl because she will throw caution to the wind and she will just sacrifice her body. She is insane with what she'll do in the wrestling ring, and I'm not necessarily from an athletic standpoint, but just like she doesn't give a damn about herself. Like she will. Sid, those dives she takes, man. She's literally told me before, like, I want people to think I'm gonna die in my matches. That's the angle
that's cool. But when you're on a WWE roster and you're coming up soon, you're gonna have to be working 5-6 nights a week. You screw your people up when you can't work programs anymore. And if you're taking all those high risk maneuvers and you're in the middle of a program, let's say it's Bayley or who the hell ever. Sasha Banks. Oh, and by the way, where has Sasha Banks been? People in my chat room were saying Sasha hasn't been around for a while. What's up?
They're holding her off until we get fans back. Most likely she'll be back on not next week's SmackDown, but the following week to set up SummerSlam.
Drink good Mountain Dew if you're going to be drinking Mountain Dew. There's 170 calories in this. The pineapple. Baja Blast Mountain Dew.
I don't drink my calories by rule, so I got to
Well, I try not to, but this is so damn good. I mix this half and half with Coke Zero. So this is Coke Zero and Baja, 80 calories after I get done with it. Some good shit. God. Now what's the language like on this show? Dutch told me I couldn't be myself. He says, y'all actually have rules and regulations over here.
You can't curse.
I mean, here's the thing. You technically don't work for us. So,
technically.
If you let one slide, try not to. It is
so F-bombs are probably totally out because I was counted at dropping 20 of them in 5 minutes on my show last week. So I won't do the 20 F-bomb drop on you. I won't do that.
It's okay. You don't work here.
You're okay. So just make yourself at home, but just try to.
There's no Reigns on me, not even Roman Reigns.
That is correct. We are going to reset here, guys. Get your comments in, get your questions in. We're going to do story time with Dutch coming up later. Obviously, if you have questions for Kenny as well, make sure to get those in.
I'm here.
Let's reset. We'll go up to the top of the show just real quick. Paul put in a comment that I want to make sure I get to before I forget. He said, why didn't they use Shotzi and Knox's full names? Until I see something official, I just think Shotzi and Knox is their tag team name because Michael Cole still said both of their full names. So I'm not panicking yet that this was Vince McMahon stealing names again.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that Marge Shot's dog got a job. I'm thrilled with it.
I love this guy. Cincinnati references on a show.
There'll be plenty of them tonight. Plenty of them tonight.
Other than me.
That's what made me watch your show for the first time. I saw you wearing the Reds jersey, and I was like, and Dutch Mantell? Well, I can't miss this show. So I watched the whole thing.
All right, so let's reboot back to the top of the show, and we'll go all the way down as we usually do. Jimmy Uso kicks off. He is on TV, which was a bit of a shock for me after the news that came out this week.
Shock for me.
I was expecting him to not be on the show, or at least, again, wind up getting his ass kicked at some point and written off TV, but that doesn't look like it's happening. As a matter of fact, it looks like they're getting pushed right back into a tag team title.
Drink all you want, drive where you want. We don't care. Go right ahead.
This is exactly what happened the last time.
Yep.
This happened. They won the tag team titles like the next night.
Man, that's wicked.
So,
I mean, not to bring up my old buddy Jim Cornette, but that crap wouldn't have happened even on his watch.
You can't say anything about him, Kenny, because he's your old buddy from a long.
My old buddy. I'll throw in former buddy along with that.
Are you saying that you don't talk to him anymore?
No, not in 4 years. Over 4 years.
That's a whole podcast in itself.
That is. I'm willing to come back.
I was going to say, we only have an hour show. We
got as long as I say we got. I don't do 1 hour podcast. I'm here for about 4 or 5 hours. I'm here till 3 a.m.
Oh, there you go. You're like Kentucky basketball. The pre and post game show is longer than the damn game.
Don't you ever compare me to Kentucky basketball. I'm a U of L fan.
Same thing. It's the same thing. Trust me.
You could be right. Big pregame shows. Big pregames.
Holy crap. Anywho, so Jimmy Uso comes down. He's back on TV. He's got a little exchange with Paul Heyman, which, again, makes you feel like something's coming for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It never comes. Roman comes down to the ring. Thank God it's the last night of piped-in crowd noise. I'll say that much.
I was hoping so.
Holy
God.
That was so bad.
And he's standing there letting the piped-in music, piped-in crowd noise determine when he's going to start his promo.
I'm like,
all right, we're all idiots.
I'm going to be so happy for live fans next week, at least until I get the first what or CM Punk chant.
But happened in minutes.
In minutes, yes. So Roman tells Jimmy he missed last week because he went to go get the job done that Jimmy couldn't. Here comes Jay. Once again, I'm expecting a double team beat down here, and we get group hug central. And it's like, we're all good. We need to do this together. We need to do it my way, but we need to do it together, and we will reign supreme over all of SmackDown. Sid, this was not the direction I thought they were going at all.
Dutch, being as I don't work here, allow me to ask this question. Who wrote this shit?
Bruce. It was Bruce.
They called me.
That's one.
I was throwing just little clues here and there. And
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But I like to be – I like the way it went because you didn't expect it.
I did not expect it.
You expected, and then all of a sudden you got that, and you go, "Whoa, this is a change. This is different."
Scooby-Doo, ladies and gentlemen, Scooby-Doo.
So I don't know where they're going to go, but now instead of rewriting the thing, they can more or less stay on course with it.
Right.
Yeah. And if he goes
and he learns nothing. He learns nothing.
I just would have not done the last couple of weeks where Jimmy was doing Roman's bidding. I would have had Jimmy go against Roman the last couple of weeks, and then this would have paid off the whole build up a little bit more. Having Jimmy go from I'm nobody's bitch to becoming Roman's bitch didn't really make sense.
He said bitch. He said bitch.
He said it first. Jimmy said it first.
Bitch is fine.
I'm referring to subject matter on the television.
There you go. Fair enough.
Now, see, part of me thinks that this is Jimmy's punishment. This seemed like a rewrite to me because Jimmy was going to be the focus. I think Jimmy was going to get that Jey Uso treatment, and maybe this is them saying, okay, the storyline's too hot. We got to continue it. But, Jimmy, you're going to just fall back to number 3 here. You're not going to get your big moment. We're not going to do a match with Jay or a match with Roman or any of that stuff. You went from being nobody's bitch to being a bitch. That's what your punishment is. You're just going to be one half of the Usos, and Jay's going to go back to being the right-hand man, and that's it. Maybe that was his.
Do you think he was surprised that he was on as much as he was on? Do you think he came expecting, I ain't getting nothing?
I think he got
the history.
I think he thought that he wasn't even coming.
Yeah, that would have been my guess. I wouldn't have let him in the building. Not after 4 of them and 2 or 3 of them recently. I mean, you got to learn somewhere. I mean, my God. And in this day and age, and in Florida, the days of Uber, Lyft, all these, you can get a ride. I'm pretty sure he can afford it. Yes. And they're not traveling the road. They're not doing house. Somebody will give him a damn ride. Yeah. Why does he have to? And I guarantee you, me and Dutch are about as strong against drunk driving as any 2 people you'll ever have on this show. And I'm personally not happy about it. I mean, they're just giving him a pass, and I'm not happy about it.
I think there's a lot of people backstage that aren't happy about it. Dutch.
Well, personally, I'd had him show up in a orange and black outfit, stripes, and handcuffs on.
There you go. That'd be a good idea.
And just did the same thing. That would have really confused people.
He just got lucky that something horrible didn't happen.
Several times now. He ran a red light when he got pulled over, according to the police report this time.
Oh, good Lord. I didn't even know that. That just makes it even worse.
Do you know what he read on the meter?
It was
0.205.
How much?
0.205, which is 2.5 times the legal limit.
That sounds high. I don't know the legal limit, but that sounds high to me.
0.08. 0.08 is the legal limit, so he was almost 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kenny, 0.08 is considered inebriated, correct?
Then that's definitely high.
He was 0.25 or 2.3. He was
he's 3 times over the limit.
3 times the limit.
Good Lord.
I am glad that nothing happened. He didn't.
Yes.
Especially running that red light. That could have been a disaster right there.
And you know what? And clearly he needs help with this. This is something that's been going on for a while. So clearly
that's what my son said. My son worked in rehab for many years as a counselor, and he says, "Man, get him off the show and get him some help." Because he's obviously not learning this way.
But you're getting ready to go out on the road, so maybe the best thing is to keep him close with his family. I don't know. Maybe you keep him on the road, but take him off TV. I don't know.
Tell him if he touches a steering wheel again, he's done. Maybe that. You touch a steering wheel, drunk or sober, you're done.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's okay.
Yeah,
and
others.
Yes, and he didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. So it was interesting. Is not the word I want to use, but I wanted to see what they were going to do tonight. This is definitely not the direction I thought they were going to go. The direction I did think they were going to go with these 2 Money in the Bank men's qualifying matches is exactly how it shook down. The first one didn't live up to Sid's standards, but I did think Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura put on a pretty good matchup tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura qualifies as Baron Corbin's down on his luck continues to go here. Now they took his damn music. He's looking more and more disheveled every week. They took his music, knocking Boogs. They got his car at an auction now. And then
I like that now.
That was pretty funny.
That was good.
That's the auction.
I still don't think this is going to work. I still don't think people are going to cheer for Baron Corbin. I don't think they're going to build up sympathy for him. But this makes a lot of sense. It does continue Corbin's down on his luck ways. And
can I get my 2 cents? Can I get my 2 cents in on Baron Corbin?
Please go ahead.
Wait, I mean, you're all not letting me talk. Just let me get my stuff in, all right?
Yeah, he's going to take over the show. I'm trying to
that was the plan 7 minutes before the show I got on.
Oh my
God. How many people here think Baron Corbin is a star?
At the moment?
No, ever.
Rick. Be honest, Rick.
Anytime. And when I say a star, I mean somebody that you would pull money out of your pocket and buy a ticket to see that guy on any particular card. Does he bring you to the arena to buy a ticket?
Kenny, you're talking to the president of the Baron Corbin fan club here, Rick Ucchino.
Jesus Christ. I'm out of here. Go
ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick.
I think Baron Corbin has the potential of being the top heel in the company. And as you guys well know, heat means money, and the guy can get heat. He can help.
Being a 32-year heel in pro wrestling, and Mr. Dutch Mantell has got me beat on that. I strongly disagree. I'm anxious to see you. And Dutch has probably worked with him. So I hear he's a nice guy. He's done local television down here. I hear the nicest guy in the world. I'm evaluating someone that will make me pull money out of my pocket and buy a ticket. He doesn't have that for me. He's a good addition to the card. But he does not make me want to buy a ticket to see him fight anybody. And I love Shinsuke Nakamura with a passion. I could give less than a rat's ass that he's wrestling Baron Corbin.
He said rat's ass.
And shame on him for calling himself the king. I don't like that either.
Well, that was WWE. They're the ones that gave him the crown for 2 damn years and then had him lose every freaking match after he won it. Jesus.
It's hard to be the king when you're on a losing streak like that.
Oh,
You don't know who validated my opinion.
Yeah, when I look at King Corbin, I don't think he could get heat if you doused him with gasoline and threw a match on him.
Put him out in a live crowd.
Yeah.
They boo the ever-loving you-know-what out of
Two
him.
people in the wrestling business are telling you he's not a star. The guy at the biggin, double thinks he's a star. So I think Sid's with us. I think 3 out of 4 tell you you're
opinions now.
Kenny,
I think 3 out of 4 telling you you're wrong is what I'm seeing.
Kenny, you're new here, but I was the first person that tried to tell Rick I'd never seen a Baron Corbin match.
Oh, you can't tell Rick nothing.
You can't tell Rick nothing.
He won't listen.
You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. But
Well, he's got 8 years at WLW. What are we going to tell him? We're just a couple of long-time career wrestling guys. What the hell do we know?
I'm taking my fair share of bumps, sir. Okay.
Kenny Bolin can get
For me
more
and
heat.
Dutch.
Kenny Bolin can get more heat sitting in the dressing room, inside the dressing room than most
With
guys
Dutch.
with me mostly, than other guys going to the ring and working for it. I made a mistake one day. I told the guys when I first got to WWE, and they was all back there talking this and talking heat, and I don't think they really understood what heat is, really. I don't think they knew it. And
Some
I
of
said,
them
guys, let me tell you something. And I maybe shouldn't have said this. I said, I can get more heat just walking to the ring and standing in the corner for 3 minutes.
Not saying a word.
And not done doing nothing, just looking at them, then you guys can go working for it. Of course, they didn't agree with that. And they all tried to beat me up.
But I just think there's a difference between real, true heel heat, get the plug in, and go away heat. Baron Corbin has go away heat. They blamed the failing Raw ratings on Baron Corbin 3 years ago. So how can you tell me, oh, he has heat? He has heat. No one wants to watch Baron Corbin.
For the
Don't
record,
put him as a damn GM or a constable. It's
For
not
the
his fault
record-
he's been misused for 4 damn years since they brought him up to the main roster.
Yeah, Natalia Neidhart. Yeah, for four. Where was I going with this? I coined the phrase.
Dementia, guys. He's already got dementia.
Yeah, I coined the phrase X-Pac Heat, and he is going to be one of the trophy winners of X-Pac Heat.
Yes, indeed. I agree.
X-Pac Heat is go away heat, which Sid said just a second ago. He's got go away heat. Just go away.
Is a barber, and I was offended by Baron Corbin's hairline. I was terribly offended.
I noticed that tonight. And
There's a reason he went bald. There's a reason he shaved his head. It did look a lot better when he had it, long back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I understand they're trying to make him look depressed and out of it, and life is over, and I lost my car, and I'd have gave that car away if it were me. But
but here's the thing: the guy lost his crown 3 weeks ago, right? How has he already missed
the crappiest crown in the history of wrestling? That behind me is a crown.
No, it's not that good.
No,
that was less than crappy.
I liked the Game of Thrones crown that they had on him initially. This one, it looks like they took the old Divas title belt and turned it into a crown and put it on.
I don't know what they did, but yeah, the Game of Thrones crown is at least was tolerable. The thing he's got now, Shinsuke should throw that thing in the river and get a real crown.
He should get the crown he had at Wrestle Kingdom.
Now, Shinsuke is somebody, in my opinion, I think psychology-wise especially, and obviously working-wise, I think he's the best talent they got. And you talk about somebody who's been misused since the day he got there. I started watching WWE wrestling again because I saw Shinsuke on NXT. And listen to this shit. I'll go ahead and say it. Listen to this. The reason that he was so over down there was the entrance. Yep. The entrance, you were in love or hated him. Either way, due to the entrance. The night he had 9-minute entrance, all the people in the white tuxes and everybody with the white fiddles or whatever the hell you call them. That was the greatest entrance I'd ever seen in wrestling. That entrance made me love him before I saw him do a thing, and then I realized how great his psychology was. This guy gets it. This guy knows what wrestling psychology is all about. And then he's a hell of a worker on top of it. I mean, why would you put him in a tag match? No offense to tag team wrestling, but he's your greatest single wrestler you got up there, in my opinion. I'd be anxious to see how Dutch feels.
It is mind-boggling to me that they had him win the Royal Rumble and then lose to AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and then continued to have him lose to AJ Styles over and over and over again. Like, I'm
shocked you didn't go back to Japan.
He was so damn over, and then you make a blow AJ Styles after the WrestleMania match. You turn him heel. And they just spent the summer trading nut shots. He was the only reason I started watching WWE product again. And I was watching NXT to see him. Then I see Asuka. Then I see Kairi Sane. Not that I got a Japanese fetish or anything, but my God, those were the ones that could work. All right. So you got me, Dutch. So you got me. Okay. My last 3 girlfriends were Filipino. So there could be something there.
Hey.
There is.
Me and Sid. But I don't think Rick Ucchino is going to have his show much longer. I think the Bowling Alley North is what this show is going to be.
They don't call them fiddles anymore, Kenny.
Oh, no longer fiddles. Violins.
The violins.
The Jed Clampett called it a fiddle. I was going by Jed Clampett's rules.
Yeah, well, they don't call it that. I know you often.
And the cement pond. And the cement pond, of course.
You're back into the woods of Kentucky, so.
Well, yeah.
He's still waiting for light to hit him up there.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming over the house next door. It'll be here soon.
Let me say this about the Corbin match and Nakamura. And I said it to you guys before we went on there. They at least made it interesting. I was more interested in that match. And this is like the 9th time
it's been
10 weeks that they have worked with each other, against each other, a single match. But they worked one tag last week, didn't they?
Yeah. I thought the ending sucked. It was a little abrupt. It was just like, oh, they're fighting. There's a couple of shots. Oh, Kinsha's and it's over. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It didn't last long.
The build up to the end could have been a lot better, and of course it happened right after I tweeted, "Yeah, this match has been actually really good." And then that ending happened, and I'm like,
and they got damn it.
Yeah, you built that one up a little quick. I love the all white on Shinsuke. The all white I thought looked real good.
I'm curious. You talked about Shinsuke's entrance down in NXT. What do you think, Kenny, about Mr. Rick Boogs? What is your impression of him on the guitar and what they're doing with Nakamura now?
I don't know what you guys are hearing, but he cut out on me real bad.
Oh, did you guys?
Oh, I heard him.
No, I heard you.
Oh, okay.
Do it again. Do it again.
What you talking about the equipment, Kenny?
I don't have that AOL dial-up like Dutch Mantell's got down there wherever he's at in sunny Southside Florida.
My internet connection is better if I leave the door open, but I got kids, so I gotta let them sleep.
The door being open gets you a better connection.
It does. I don't know why, because I'm in a brick cell here that's just got sheetrock on it. Anywho, your thoughts on Mr. Rick Boogs and now what they've done with Shinsuke's entrance?
I think we have enough guitar players in the WWE. I saw this guy and I'm going, what the hell? Don't we already have a guitar gimmick in the WWE? Do we really need 2? And if we have 2 guys with guitar gimmicks, I think we have them feud and then we narrow it down to 1 guitar gimmick. Now, that's my opinion.
The first time he showed up, I said, if we don't get him versus Elias at Survivor Series, what are we even doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's the stupidest non-booking in the world if you don't have those 2 going at it. Acoustic versus, whatever you call what he's got.
But Sid, here's the thing. They've kind of taken away Elias's guitar in the last few weeks. All of a sudden, they give him some generic music.
They're having Elias come out without a guitar now?
Yes.
Well, I guess that ends that match.
They took away his music, too. Like, he had custom music that he sang, and now they gave him generic track number 5.
Yeah, and he's feuding with little Hulk Hogan over there.
Well, who's little Hulk Hogan? Bring me up to date. Who's that?
Jackson Riker. Jackson.
Okay, you may as well have said Bill Smedley, and it would have been the same to me. But
I don't think they're up to date on the whole Jackson Riker thing, man. So,
no, not me. I don't know about Dutch.
We ain't got time to get into Jackson Riker. He's on Raw. I will.
If we're only here an hour, you're damn right we ain't got time to get into him.
I will say this, man. I love Rick Boogs for one reason, because that means Pat McAfee is going to dance, and Pat McAfee is living his best life on commentary. I love everything that man
Dutch, what's your opinion on Pat McAfee? Because I had plenty to say during the show.
I do like him. I think Michael works better with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael worked great with Lawler, and I think
he did.
And I think McAfee he fits him well.
I got a problem with my announcers getting. I got a problem with my announcers getting a foot bath during the course of a match. That's my thing.
That was the most.
You like the foot bath? You like the foot bath?
That was the most entertaining part of that whole match for me.
And there you nailed the coffin shut. That was the most entertaining part of the match. That's sad. That is freaking sad, in my opinion. I'm only out here to give opinions, guys. I'm not the god of wrestling or anything.
No, I agree. That is sad. That I'm numb to the Nakamura.
There's no way that an announcer getting a foot bath should be the best part of any match. And I was telling my fan base, both of them, that you know this why do we have guys getting foot baths when there's a serious match going on in the ring? Why the hell are we doing that?
You know, the commentary doing that match by Big E and McAfee was actually decent.
Yeah.
Then they got the foot bath, and
then they got the foot bath. Then they got the foot bath. They didn't need the foot bath.
That is a total Big E thing, man. Because Big E is another one of these guys. Anytime he comes down, he's the one that sets up that like little mini apartment, and then he basically. And
here you've got this legit big badass who looks like he could beat anybody on the roster anytime he wants. And they make a comedian out of him and a foot bath guy.
Yeah, that's all Big E.
That's not what I would do with him, and I don't think Dutch would do that with him. Not to speak for Dutch,
that is all Big E, and that's something that Big E's been fighting for a long time. When it's time to be serious, when it's time to kick ass, he'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, then he's gonna have some fun.
All right, so can we write that one off and talk about the girls a little bit?
Yeah,
let's talk about the girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think about that, Kenny? What do you think about the new team?
What did I think about the new team? The green-haired girl and the other girl?
No, the taxi driver on the corner that I'm talking to. Yes, you.
Well, I said, are you talking about the green-haired girl and the other girl? Because I have trouble knowing who's new and who's not because I don't watch the product.
And Tegan Knox. Shotzi Blackheart would be the girl with the green.
I saw some potential. I pointed out that you don't have to change the color of your hair to get over in the company. It's like natural hair is just out the door. Everybody, and then I noticed Snuka's girl. I noticed has got some blue in her hair now. Why can't anybody just have natural hair color? Why do we all got to have a different color of hair?
Well,
I'm asking the ginger.
You're asking who?
What?
I'm asking the ginger. No offense.
Who is the ginger?
I was going to say,
you're talking about Rick.
It looks red to me. Is that red hair on a chino over there?
Okay. So
looks red to me. Maybe my monitor's off. I'm only on a 70-inch Sony Trinitron.
All right. So my hair is brown. Like the top of my head is brown, but
looks red.
There's red that comes in the facial hair. So that's probably the red that you're picking up.
So you're a science experiment that went bad, apparently.
Okay.
I'm like 5% Irish, and that's what this is. This is the 5%.
5% did that to you. You should sue somebody.
Kenny, you know
what was the question? I'm sorry.
I forgot.
I like the girls because they were brand new. I've never
brand
seen
new.
Before.
They worked hard. They worked hard.
On this show, SmackDown, something brand new is happening.
Is rare, huh? Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, see, I tune in for the first time in forever, and I get there for the new night, so I didn't know that.
Now hit a girl on you.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. So Tamina and Natty, they call out. They say we've been called out by a new tag team, somebody who's coming up from NXT, and immediately you start thinking, okay, they have a dozen women's tag teams in NXT, it seems, and like, all right, maybe who are we getting? Are we going to get Ember and Shotzi? Are we going to get Candice and Indy because they just lost the tag team titles? Like, what direction are they going to go here? And all of a sudden, out comes Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox, who are not a tag team.
Not a team. Okay.
Not a team.
Sounds right.
At all. They put them together. So now Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, who were a team in NXT, are no longer a team. And Tegan Knox,
where did Ember Moon go? Because I really liked her. Where'd she go?
She's in NXT now. So she went. So after the whole 24/7 title debacle where she tore her Achilles, she went back to NXT when she came back. So they split up a tag team there. And now Tegan Knox just came back this week on Wednesday to restart her feud with Candice LeRae, cost her the tag team titles in NXT.
Okay.
And now they're like, well, screw that. She's on SmackDown now. So they've just like thrown wrenches into everything that they were we're doing with the women's division in NXT,
right.
which Sid again shows you the disconnect. If you're gonna have 3 brands, is it too much to ask for continuity here?
I'm just guessing that Triple H didn't get the memo that Tegan Knox was getting called up when he spent weeks with the whole battery vignettes to build up her return on this episode of NXT with the NXT Women's Tag Team titles, which is the most devalued and needless titles in all of the WWE. This match here, I like Dutch. I was happy that we got something new with Shotzi and Tegan coming out. Although they were tag team last year when Tegan was healthy. I think a lot of people forget that because of the Shotzi and Ember team. Yeah, they were a tag team back when Tegan was healthy. So it was cool to see them here. What I didn't like was the whole entire match. It was ugly. And it wasn't on Tegan and Shotzi. It was more on Tamina. She just looked like she was.
What about that super kick that Tamina tried to throw that didn't connect? And then she did her best to save it. I'll give her that. Yeah. She did her best to save it, but it looked like the timing was way off on that one.
And then she stumbled. She couldn't get her feet under her after the fact.
Tamina looked lost the entire match. Like even when she had Shotzi in the front face lock, it was like she was hitting her on the back. It was like she didn't know what she was supposed to do or gonna do.
I haven't seen a lot of her matches, but I haven't seen anything that tells me that she's the next big thing in pro women's wrestling.
Well, to be fair, she is 43, so I don't think
she that old. Really, I had no clue she was that old.
She's been in WWE for quite some time.
Yeah, a little while,
at least a decade. She's been there for a while, and I mean the whole reason she's a tag.
But isn't Edge 65? So that's not an excuse.
That is true.
That's very true. I don't know. This was just a.
I think Edge is older than Dutch. Pretty sure.
How old is Edge?
He is 43.
Oh,
no, Edge? No, he is not. He's older than that. Somebody look that up. He's older than 43.
Hang on, I'll work the Google.
Somebody look that up. There's no way in hell he's 43.
Either 43 or is.
I'll bet my reputation as a Bolin he's older.
He's 47 actually. 47.
There you go.
That's the record. I knew he was supposed to. That I liked the new tag team. I didn't like the match. So
yeah. Did this scream last minute to you, Dutch? This looked like it was thrown together at the last possible second.
It did. It looked
now
like
you see why they don't call it in the ring anymore.
Yeah. But hey, I was watching somebody. It was Jericho. Hey, did y'all see Jericho punch the fan?
Yes.
Has that I haven't got to see that. When did that happen? I heard it was recent.
That was on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I did a watch along. I must have missed it. I did the watch along and didn't see him punch a fan.
Yeah, it was the guy, it was weird. He just like hopped up onto the ring apron and stood there. And then security takes
like the good old days, Dutch.
Yep.
And then Jericho just gave him a couple of stiff shots. And
let me tell you this story, guys, real quick.
Yeah.
And Kenny, this happened in Louisville. You may remember it.
I already know where you're going. Go right ahead.
Okay. It was me and David Schultz, and Lawler was managing us, I think. We went to the ring against Rocky Johnson.
Was it the King's Army era?
Yep.
Okay.
It was against Rocky Johnson and Bill Dundee. And you guys know anything about David Schultz, Dr. D?
I know I do.
The Dark Side of the Ring episode.
He is insane.
Yeah. Not somebody to mess with.
This guy goes into the ring and he's drunk as hell. And Rocky and Bill Dundee, they just backed up and they let him go. And he walked out the center of the ring. And I'm standing there. And I wasn't going to do nothing. I said, I'm just going to.
Ain't worth getting sued over, right?
No. David beat the living crap out of him and hit him with a belt. You remember the belts with the eagles on them?
Yes.
It had an eagle sticking out of the belt, hit him. And the last thing I know, the guy was pouring buckets of blood.
Yeah.
And they were taking him down taking him to the
back in the good old days when the fans tried to get in the ring in the Louisville Gardens. Once you were in that ring, you were open season. And whatever, and it might you might get the heels and the faces beating the shit out of you in an attempt to get the fan out of the ring, and then the cops would take them to the back and let the wrestlers have their way at them. So I hear, and then they would take, and the jail was right below the Louisville Gardens. Do you remember that, Dutch?
I heard it was close.
The jail was underneath the Louisville Gardens, so it was very easy to cook them and book them. Yeah, wasn't it now?
And take them down.
Take an elevator down.
One more thing, Kenny. You remember the night it was me and Schultz again and Lawler against the Indians and Chewy?
Oh my God. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What a fight we had.
Because that little Chewy, he wasn't even 18 years old yet, was he?
No, and the girls loved him.
The girls did love him.
Long story short, guys, they had these two Indians and they had the young boy Chewy's like 16, 17.
Because you all beat him up on TV and he had to be carried out physically carried to an ambulance.
And he used to take a drum with him. And when the Indians were supposed to make a comeback, he'd go boom, 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 boom. And well, of course, that got the fans up.
Well, of course it did.
So, of course, they beat us and something happened. And then we beat the hell out of the Indians. And Chewy runs in there to protect his father. We beat the living crap out of him.
Chewy should have kept his ass out of the ring.
Yeah,
he got what he had coming.
He is bleeding, and all of a sudden, here they come again.
Let this be a lesson to you underage Indians out there. Keep your ass out of the ring. It's my advice.
They were actually reaching through the ropes and trying to grab us. They was right up to the.
They were hot that night because not only did he get messed up on television, they beat him up. This underage kid beat him up in the ring. Oh my
God! But anyway.
That's heat. You beat up a teenage Indian.
Heat. Guys today, they can't tell you about heat. We used to have to fight back from that ring more than we should have.
I was going to say,
I got in the
MJF, I think, in AEW excels more than anybody because he had a guy try to kidnap him one time. Like, he legit pisses people off. If there's one guy, I'm sorry, MJF. Yeah. So if anybody can get the heat that you guys are talking about, I think it's that.
Dutch, do you remember Grandma? Do you remember Grandma at the Louisville Gardens that used to get in the ring like every third week? And she'd be in over her cane and her hair. Well, not the one you dated, the other one that would get in the ring. Not that Grandma. But no, Grandma would get in the ring. Of course, nobody wants to lay a hand on Grandma, and you'd actually have to wait for the police to come and get her. I know she got in the ring at least at 4 or 5 matches that I was at. And no one wanted to be the one to touch her, not even Dutch.
I love
Dutch might have had sex with her, but he wouldn't physically hurt her, I'll tell you that.
I didn't do that because that's a different type of stuff.
Well, by the way, Dutch, have the women in your house piped down a little bit since the last time you and I had a conversation? They were getting a little chirpy over there.
Yeah, they were. They left. I run them off.
All right, well, we're going down memory lane here. DJ Eric wants to know best memories.
I remember when WLW was great radio.
So do I. What are your memories from your time in OVW?
What do you want me to remember?
What's your favorite memory?
My favorite memories? God. I would say doing the bit with Stone Cold Steve Austin was pretty good. I had a blast and I never said a word other than me and Jim Ross griping at each other.
Which made it a lot better.
Made it a lot better if I didn't have to say anything. And but no, that was a fun bit to do. I got to work an angle with The Undertaker and Kane where they chokeslam like 37 wrestlers that night to go home. I was one of them. I got to take Sacco from Mick Foley twice. Now, there you go. How many times have you took Sacco? Then shut up.
I got it.
Then shut up. Dutch, did you ever have to take Sacco?
No, I never even met Sacco.
You never even met him? He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
just don't piss him off. Yeah, he's a good guy.
You know what I like?
But memories at OVW, yeah. And obviously me and Cornette had a ball. I mean, it was my best friend, and we're booking the hottest wrestling show in the Kentuckiana area, and I got to be featured in a lot of stuff. And we had a ball doing it, in all honesty. And it was fun to watch Jimmy lose his mind and take his ball and go home. Wonder what week Jimmy was getting fired that week, and then how long would it be before he would come back? But we saw the spectrum at all angles there. And but no, I had a ball. But working with some of the big name WWE guys was a lot of fun, obviously. And promo time was fun time for me, as long as I was getting to do a promo, and especially if I forgot to say what Jimmy wanted me to say, and he would throw an ink pen at me during the interview to try and jiggle me a little bit to make me remember what the damn promo I was supposed to do. He said once I did 12 minutes and never covered one thing he wanted me to cover. But it was a good promo. Just wasn't what he wanted me to say.
All right, guys, you are checking into Smack Talk here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook channel. Rick Ucchino, SP3, Dutch Mantell, Kenny Bolin joining us here and doing a fantastic job.
Were you a fan of Ocho Cinco? I thought you stole his name when I saw your name there. Ocho Cinco with the Bengals, number 88.
That was my nickname in college, actually. People started calling me. Yeah, so.
Did you play sports in college?
I tried.
You look like you'd have been good at Tiddlywinks.
Never played that, to be.
All right. That's not what I heard, but all right.
I'm a bowler. I'm a golfer. I tried to play basketball.
Bowling,
Hey, yeah,
and now
he's
you
got-
get Kenny Bolin.
Yeah, you got a bowling alley.
Yeah, I got a whole bowling alley. Yeah,
Nice.
Love it. So let's guys get to the biggest.
that was sarcasm.
Let's get to the biggest question of the night that was heading into this. With Bayley down, who was going to be the challenger for Bianca Belair? My biggest thing was, if you're going to stick with the I Quit stipulation that we got last week, who makes sense to come in and do the I Quit stipulation? The only one that made sense would have been Sasha Banks. They decided to just scrap the I Quit stipulation altogether. They scrapped the match at Money in the Bank, and they said, hey, next week it's going to be Carmella versus Bianca. Sid, your reaction?
Groaned. I groaned. I audibly groaned when they announced that Carmella is the replacement. They build this up on social media. They said they're going to have a replacement for Bayley. I thought that this would have been a perfect spot for Toni Storm. Yeah, she may be coming in and getting a loss immediately, but this is a big spotlight for her. She's going to be on the first SmackDown in front of fans in well over a year. If she has a 10, 15-minute match against Bianca Belair and lose, that's a much better debut than most girls get. So I thought that was the perfect spot for her. Having Carmella was just a disappointment. I was just totally over the segment.
Carmella looked amazing in her red dress, and that's all I got to say about that.
She did.
She is the most beautiful woman in all of WWE. I got
Don't be like that. Don't be judging a woman on her looks. I mean, come on, man. What is this, Cornette show?
That's her nickname.
That's her nickname. That's what she's billed as.
We are just going by the canon.
Well, not to overinflate her ego. I do think Carmella is slightly above average, if you know what I mean.
I hear
Does
you.
reaction to Carmella being the replacement for Bayley now?
I think it's okay because they're in a pinch. It was a last minute deal. What are we going to do? You got to put somebody in they kind of know with a little bit of heat on them.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. What else did you want them to do?
Yeah,
Has Sasha Banks been off TV for a little bit?
She hasn't been seen since the SmackDown after Mania. So
Really?
Yeah.
Well, anybody know why? I mean, all you smart marks out there, somebody knows.
Well, she is nominated for an Emmy for her work on The Mandalorian, so she might be doing something.
Wait a minute! I watched every episode of The Mandalorian. What did she do?
She was one of the soldiers.
Well, I'll be damned. I did not know that. I should go back and rewatch them.
She was the one doing all the wrestling moves and the action sequences.
Oh, really? Okay. Now, who's the girl with the big arms in The Mandalorian? I didn't catch her name.
That's Gina Carano, a former MMA fighter.
Yeah, I don't want to fight her. Yeah, I saw those arms. I didn't want none of that.
But people got mad at her, right? And wanted to cancel
They
her.
did. They did.
She did get canceled. For what?
Yeah.
What you do?
Trump supporter is what I heard. Would that be a lesson to you?
Well, that's what the Nazis did.
Well,
See?
God bless America.
See?
So anyway, Sid, to your point, right? So you're talking about you were disappointed that Carmella was the announcement.
Yes.
I kind of have to agree with Dutch here. It's like, I don't know what everybody was expecting. I know we all wanted this grand, it's going to be Sasha coming back. They weren't going to do that. They weren't going to make that announcement.
I didn't think it should be Sasha because that blows off the match that they want to do for SummerSlam. I thought that would be too short-sighted.
So you
answered
your own question.
I wanted Toni Storm. I wanted someone
right. You wanted somebody new, somebody fresh, somebody different, not somebody who was already in Money in the Bank, and I get that. The one thing that I saw everybody was ticked off is they wanted Sonia to step up and challenge her. That
would have been fun too.
And I think that would have been great too, but I think they're building to something. I think WWE just went, you know what? We're effed. We're going to punt this match, and that's just going to be it. We'll put a title match on the first live crowd show, and we'll figure it out from there. I would not be surprised if Becky Lynch comes back.
My opinion, I think Sasha Banks is her and Asuka. I think they're the two premier female talents in the company. I will watch either one of those anytime. I think Sasha definitely gets how to be a heel. And she's been a pretty good babyface when she's tried it. But I really like Sasha Banks. I really do.
I like Sasha. I love Asuka too. Asuka has been.
She's my favorite. She just totally gets it. I mean, her and Shinsuke are just light years above everyone else, in my opinion, when it comes to getting it and getting psychology and how to get the most out of a match.
it's amazing to me the amount of titles they put on her, but at the same time, you still feel like she's just been completely underutilized.
I certainly do with both of them, and I'd keep both of them out of tag matches. I mean, her and Kairi Sane, that was a natural thing to happen, but I think they need to keep both of them out of tag matches because they're very, very strong singles. I wasn't a big fan of Jerry Lawler being in tag matches, even though him and Dundee, I'm sure, made a lot of money. Dutch Mantell, I'm sure, made quite a bit of money in tag matches, but I like Dutch better as a single. When you can carry a match as a single, I think that ought to be what you do. And the tag match ought to be, in my opinion, something special. Oh my God, Lawler and Dutch are going to tag up tonight, or Dutch and Dundee, or whatever. I'm going back a few years. What's that?
Can they coexist?
They coexist? There you go. But if they coexist 6 weeks in a row, then obviously they can.
What did Sonia Deville tell Liv Morgan? That if she'd shut up long enough, she'd heard the rest of the comment. What was the rest of it?
Yeah, and I was getting to that because Paul came in and said they killed the Sonya and Liv storyline, and I don't think they did. Again, I think this was an audible that they had to call because I don't think Liv was going to get in the Money in the Bank ladder match originally. I still think my idea from last week that those two were going to feud was going to be it. But that's the one thing I loved about this. Liv came down. She was pissed. She was fired up. She gets right in Sonya's face. This is bullshit. What the hell are you doing? Yep. And then Sonya got right back in her damn face. Like, if you just shut the hell up.
Shut up, yeah.
And let me finish. I'm putting you in the damn match because you've earned it. Now get the hell out of my ring before I change my effing mind.
I like that part too. And I don't see a lot of the product, but I did really enjoy that part. But the question I had during the show, and no one had a good answer for me, why is Sonya doing this? Because she seems to be a pretty good worker and a pretty good talent. And someone said that I think she's pregnant. Is that the case?
No, she's not pregnant.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm innocent.
Where have you been, Kenny?
Where have I been? Avoiding a lot of WWE televisions where I've been. Where have you been? Been watching a lot of Clemson games, beating up on my Hurricanes. You got heat with me wearing that damn shirt here tonight.
Wait a minute.
So just to give you a recap. So Sonya Deville, the last time she was in a wrestling
I see. Get the camera off that crappy shirt and put a Hurricane shirt up there for crying out loud.
The last time Sonya Deville,
maybe even a Bearcat shirt.
There we go. I'll take that.
No, you'll take that. All right.
Yeah, the last time that Sonya Deville was in the ring was SummerSlam last year. She competed in a match with Mandy Rose in which she lost. She was supposed to shave her head, but it quickly turned into a loser leaves town match, basically, because she was the victim of a break-in. Somebody stalked her house and was trying to break in to kidnap her.
Kentucky.
Where were you on that night, Dutch? Where were you on the night of the invasion?
I think I was in Nashville.
Okay, sounds good.
I think.
So
you think
she took a lot of time off after that, obviously dealing with legal stuff, and she came back earlier this year. I think it was. Was it this year that she came back and she was back in as so they wrote her off. She was fired from the company as an active competitor. Now they've brought her back as an authority figure, and I think they're slowly working her way back into the ring. We've seen photos of her training. So we'll see eventually. I think this is the catalyst. I think eventually we're going to get Liv Morgan versus Sonya Deville, and I'm all for it. I'm still hoping Sonya announces herself as
Dutch. What's your opinion on Liv Morgan?
Oh, I love her.
I agree. I like her.
I think she's.
What about Mandy? What about Mandy Rose? Between Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan, who's your pick?
Well, I'm not familiar with Mandy Rose that much.
I know. Well, I've seen a little bit of. I think they both got a lot of potential. I'm anxious to see where it's going to go, but it's been developing for a while with Mandy Rose. Doesn't seem that it's really come to fruition yet.
No, I think because she got the biggest singles win of her career at SummerSlam last year when she beat Sonya, and then they immediately moved her over to Raw and put her in another tag team. It's like, what are you doing?
We kind of want you to succeed, but then again, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way.
Who books the girls? Do they have like a separate?
Nope. No.
Now I thought Fit Finlay had a lot to do with the women. Is that no longer the case?
He did.
They have their agents. I know Tyson Kidd works a lot with the female wrestlers as far as agents, as far as booking the match. But the storylines is all the creative director, which is Bruce Pritchard, and the writers that they have behind the scenes.
I would like to volunteer my services to work with the female wrestlers. I won't teach them anything about wrestling or anything, but I'd like to be a part of it.
Oh, you can't say that anymore, Kenny.
Oh, you can't say that? Oh.
No, you're canceled.
I'm canceled. I'm canceled.
You're canceled.
I'm done. That's it.
God,
I went
somebody
all.
I wanted to cancel.
Man, I'd like to apologize, but I'm too stupid to do so.
Sid, I got a question for you. We got 2 spots left in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Who do you think takes those spots? Do you think it's something as easy as it's going to be Shotzi and Tegan Nox, or do you think WWE has something else up their sleeve?
I'm hoping that Sonia Deville gets one of the spots, but I'm afraid that the reason that they put this matchup for next week's SmackDown between Bianca and Carmella is Carmella's going to lose and insert herself back in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
See, I don't think they're going to do that because they specifically said that Liv is replacing Carmella. If they had just said, Liv, you're in, Carmella, but maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's WWE that they changed their pants. I think they're saving something for next week in front of the fans, something big, which makes me think maybe it is Sonya putting herself in the match. Maybe that the feud with Liv Morgan boils over to where she says, you know what?
How long has she been on the back burner?
Sonya?
Since she came back in I think she came back in maybe February or March.
Really? Wow. That's a long time to be on the back burner.
Yeah. Slow burn getting her back.
She's just been an official backstage, the non-manager.
So, Sid, do you think next week is the week? Do you think the 4th and final competitor could be Becky Lynch?
I don't see Becky coming back in that way. I just don't think that's a big enough spot for her. I mean, it makes sense because she did give up her championship to the winner of last year's Money in the Bank, but I don't think you put Becky Lynch back in a ladder match where she runs the risk of getting hurt.
How old is Becky's baby?
3 months.
No, born in
7 months, really?
Early
7 months.
Early December. About 3 weeks before my son was born.
I'm just wondering if she's ready to leave the child in daycare yet.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. She might be ready.
3 months, I don't think so. 7 months, I still think it's a little early. I think she'd lay out for a full year.
She's going to come back whenever she's ready to come back, obviously.
Yeah, which I totally agree with.
And yes, absolutely. But there is
raise your kid. There's always time.
Exactly. There is. I don't know. How the rumors and the reports and everything surface. There seems to be some hope that she's coming back sooner rather than later. If you're going to make a pop on the big first show,
that would be a big pop. I agree with that.
That would
Don't
be.
announce it ahead of time, damn it. Make it a surprise.
Well, they're not very Dutch. I always hate the leaks. I mean, the surprises. I mean, that never happened in Memphis. When there was a surprise, it was a damn surprise. But in this day and age, of course, there wasn't the internet the way it is now. But man, I hate knowing the big surprise that's going to happen. A lot of people seek it out. They want to know it. I don't want to know. When I used to do commentary, I never did the pregame meetings. I didn't want to know. Jerry Lawler said he felt the same way. I don't want to know what's going to happen. Please, God, surprise me. Whatever that's worth.
All right, so Dutch, final match of the night. Final match of the night. Your boy Cesaro against Seth Rollins for the 5th time WrestleMania.
Their best match yet.
Mm-hmm.
Their best match, and it went 3 segments.
Yes, it did.
And it was and a good finish.
I thought
they had a couple of times there they could have went ahead and finished it up, and they took it a little more. And I think Cesaro got over better by losing than he did by winning.
We talked about this a little bit in private, Dutch. What? Because I love Cesaro. Worked with him here in Ohio Valley Wrestling. Very nice guy, very talented guy, hell of a worker. What is missing that is not getting him to that next level? What would you do that maybe other people are not doing?
Well, I think Rick asked me that last week, or somebody asked me.
I did.
Might have been.
Yeah, on our private call, the 10 we have a week.
I would call it mass connection. I don't think he connects with the people on a massive scale.
Why do you think?
I don't know. It's that intangible that you can't put a finger on.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean,
I've looked for that too.
Love him. The diehards love him.
They do.
Your P1s, a radio term. They want Cesaro to get pushed. They want him to get that spot. I mean, when he lost this matchup tonight, I saw people all over Twitter who were pissed off.
And there's you and 3 members of your family that want to see a King Corbin push. I mean, it's out there.
That's it.
There's an audience for everything. There's an audience for everything. But we've seen WWE do this. They tend to tailor more towards the casual fans than they do the diehards.
And there's a reason for that.
Which is,
go ahead.
Your casual fans give you your sellouts.
Yeah.
Your casual fans. If you run a town on a regular basis, you're going to have a base level. Let's say it's 1,000 seater. And if you can hold it at 500, they're going to be there anyway, or 300 or 400. They're going to be there anyway. Now you do something to the casual fan that attracts them. Now you fill it up.
And back in the day, I would have been that diehard fan. I was the guy that was there to see some specific talent and really focus on that talent and be upset when I didn't know what the hell was going on in the business. Still, of course, like the marks today, have my opinion that I should not have had.
Rick, could you show some love to the super
Look at
chat?
Dutch going widescreen all of a sudden.
Corbin fans
I was too thin.
Who taught Dutch how to do that? Go widescreen with the rest of us.
I did.
And you, Mr. WLW, send Dutch one of those real microphones like you got, so he not only looks and sounds as good as me. Why don't we do that?
I am not related to Greg Bush, so
Rick, can you remove the Corbin fans and show some love to the super chat? We had a super chat. I don't see those all the time.
Well, wait a minute. If we kick all the Corbin fans out, we're going to lose 2 or 3 people. We don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to lose the 2 other people besides Rick that like Baron Corbin in the chat.
Yeah,
Sergio Pesci says you are looking great, King.
Yeah.
So Sergio Pesci is my co-host on my show from time to time, and he did the SmackDown watch along with me tonight. And I got to smack old Joe around a little bit every now and then, but he's a pretty good guy. And not everybody can get Joe Pesci to be a co-host on their show, but I'm a big deal in the podcast business, and I was more than happy to bring him along and teach him everything I know, and that took about 2 minutes.
So guys, I honestly didn't even know we had super chats enabled on these.
Well, you better learn, because I make a boatload of money off super chats for my charities and also for myself.
These are the first ones I've ever seen. So the King.
Do you have well, they're doing it because I'm here. The only ones you're getting are my fans that have turned on me and given you my money, and I'm not happy about it.
He's a bigger draw than Baron Corbin.
Damn right. Who ain't?
He's drawn more money in this one stream than Baron Corbin has his entire
life.
If you book Baron Corbin correctly, he'll call you some damn money. Go ahead.
I could book him correctly. I can get him a bus ticket home.
Yeah. We need to give him a push.
Me and Sid's buddies now. Sid's my buddy.
Yeah, I know. We need to give him a push to the airport.
Sid, what's your background? How did you get drug in on this?
Drugs.
He's the dealer. He's the dealer for Mr. WLW over here. That's what I should have known.
Hey, don't get me kicked off my date.
Pesci's a shoot drug dealer. He might hook up with you guys. He'll do drug deals on my show. I've never seen anything like it. Let me count $10,000 right on the damn show.
I'll be Pesci's Henry Hill. For
I
sure.
love Pesci, just to make it for the record. I give him a lot of crap, but Pesci's a good guy. If you donate on his show, Pesci, you're fired.
Well, he already put $2 in. So
that little bastard. Can I say that? I just did.
Well, you did. There's no taking it back because we are
taking it back now. It's a live show. I was thrilled when I heard this show was live. I've always wanted me and Dutch on a live show.
Whoever goes back and looks at these,
I just shut up and let Dutch talk. That's a successful show if you just shut up and let Dutch talk, and that's what I try to do.
Well, that's why people tune in to hear this show. That's why they tune into this show. It's not to hear me or Sid talk. That's for damn sure.
Well, there you go. We don't have to have me back more often, which means I'll have to watch more SmackDown. Learn who those women are.
And there's another $2 from Sergio Pesci.
Oh my! Get that little bastard! You're fired.
And we got DJ Eric just donated as well.
Yeah, DJ hasn't donated $10 on my show in like 10 years. What the hell he's doing?
You're a draw. You're a draw.
He calls me Dad. He was known as Fat Eric at OVW, Dutch. He's been a lifelong fan. He's been coming since 95 or 96 at the original Davis Arena. And now he's a DJ. He's been DJing for like 18 years now. Calls me Dad. I said, you wish you looked as good as me.
Brad.
Oh, Mountain Timer. Mountain Timer's the cheapest fan I got, and he just donated $2.99. Will you all stop it?
To me.
Jesus Christ. Can you say that on this show?
How do I get that?
No. Stop it. Pay that money for my show tomorrow night.
I'm just going to sit here now and just see how many more of these we get.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, you're ready to do a 5-hour show now that you got people in here that know how to spend money.
I want to know where the money goes.
Please show the Sportskeeda Wrestling had a comment that I think is me, Dutch, and Kenny are responsible for.
Uh-oh.
I think this is breaking news. This is breaking news right now.
Do you have a guy in the background putting up comments? Have you got a trained monkey doing it?
Oh, we got another one.
What the hell?
Yes.
What in the Sam hell?
Greg, my dude.
I'm gonna take notes. I'm gonna find out everybody donated on his show, and I'm blocking you for 6 months.
Hey,
every one of you.
just donated $109. Oh, wait a minute. That's the time. Okay.
That was pesos, Dutch. That was pesos. That was $2.08.
Apparently, Dutch, Kenny, Baron Corbin has blocked Sports Heater Wrestling on Twitter today.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, good.
What did we do?
Didn't see him donating. If he donated, I said nicer things about him.
Hey, Rick, did you see the Usos knocking on the door?
Pesci, you donate $1 more, you little bitch, and I'm going to come to Cleveland and beat your ass.
Keep doing it.
Man.
Pesci, keep it up.
Hazelwood's one of my guys. Donated $650 over the last 4 days, and now he's dropping $5 here like it's nothing.
And we got donating
to the Sam.
And here's a regular. Ozzy says no King Corbin. So Ozzy's a regular dropping $2.
I have never been more disgusted in my life. You guys have never made 10 cents on this damn show. You bring me over here, and now you're milking my fans dry. This is bullshit.
We're milking them dry. Please subscribe over the True Hill Heat because you guys are great fans, and I would love.
You're looking at my screen, and every donation you got is one of my trained monkeys that I taught how to donate, and now you're cashing in on them.
Got 2 more coming in.
Oh, 2.
He's one of my guys. Yeah. Mark Rebel Games, little bitch.
Well, we do appreciate everybody who's.
Don't say we. You got a mouse in your pocket. I don't appreciate it.
Wait a minute. We have another donation.
No.
$5 from Miss Kenny Bolin.
Oh, we actually do have another one from Eric. Eric says he's been a fan of OVW since 1993. Worked on shows.
All I know, Rico Cheapo, whatever your name is, you better have a PayPal account, and I want you to send me every dollar you collect in here tonight.
I don't even know.
Me and you going to have some trouble. You were talking about taking bumps in the ring. Oh, you going to take one more if you don't send me my money in PayPal tonight. There's going to be some serious issues. Consequences and repercussions, son. Consequences and repercussions.
I did not even know we had Super Chat.
Well, now you know. Now you've stumbled into a gold mine. You've stumbled into a gold mine. Thanks to that. If I catch any of my fans in here again, if I'm not here, there's going to be trouble.
Please come
back.
See,
Dutch, I was trying to tell you. Remember, Dutch, I was telling you that I was making millions off my marks, and here they are. Making you all rich, too.
What the hell?
You're invited back every week now.
Trying to get back on track. What the hell were we even talking about? Do we even remember?
Oh, you're too busy counting money. You don't know what you're talking about. Hell, y'all have made more money now than you've made in your last 108 podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been doing 108 of these.
You won't be once I file a grievance with the FCC. I'll get your ass taken off the air.
I think some cryptocurrencies coming in now, too, by the way.
I think we're getting
you just get a Bitcoin. What are they doing? They donating my AMC shares now? I got 6,006, by the way.
DJ says, hey, don't worry, checks in the mail.
There you go.
Checks in.
Y'all ain't gonna have a check if you keep giving these clowns your money. No offense, Dutch. Clowns, you know. All right, clown.
Did you call me a clown, Kenny?
No, I called Rico Cheapo a clown. Not you.
That's fair.
Never you.
And what about Sid?
Sid agrees with everything I say, so he's obviously not a clown. And he knows Corbin sucks. He knows that.
We are right here, Kenny. That's why I said
it's this redheaded ginger here that doesn't seem to figure anything out.
And we got one more donation.
Mountain Timer just broke his record for donations. He's the cheapest fan I got. Claims he just made 60 grand off AMC theaters, and now he's giving my money away.
Brad.
Bite me, Brad. Bite me.
All right, Dutch, do you have any other stories you would like to tell this fine evening?
Well, I can't top this story. Kenny Bolin coming on this show, blowing it up, begging for
making you all kinds of money.
Be on a street corner, Kenny, and look with
a guitar box open, just collecting money.
We need to put some glasses on, like we're blind. Oh yay! And jingling it around. So, we should have done that a long time ago, Kenny.
Well, you should have
passed the plate.
Yeah,
people go to church.
Right.
All of a sudden, you pass the plate at the end.
Pass the offering plate.
We should have passed, except the promoters we worked for. Hell, they would rob from that too.
Were you familiar with Jason Sanderson? They called him Wolfie. He was a multimillionaire promoter up north. Are you familiar with who he is?
No.
I had the pleasure of doing a Legend show with him.
That's a multimillionaire promoter?
Yeah. he booked me and Bobby Heenan and Ox Baker on the same show. So I had to go because I wanted to meet Bobby Heenan and Ox Baker. So I go up there and we go. Part of the rules is you got to go to his church. And you know me, I haven't set foot in many of those since 1967. So I wander into his church and they're passing the offering plate around. And I want you to know the preacher told the crowd full of legends. And yeah, Coco Beware was there too. Butcher Vachon, Ox Baker, Bobby Heenan, just all these legends are there. And they said when they're passing the offering plate around,
in church.
Oh, Ted DiBiase, excuse me, Ted DiBiase was there. When they pass the offering plate around, the preacher stands up amongst all those criminals that were in that church. Please do not pass the plate to Brother Bolin. We would like to make some money today. And I didn't get. There you go, sitting right next to Ted DiBiase, Butcher Vachon, Bobby Heenan, Ox Baker. They called me a criminal. Thought I'd steal from the church.
Kenny, do you have a good prototype story?
Prototype, yeah. I don't know how many of them I can tell on this show with y'all's rules and regulations, but what would you like to know about John Cena?
I was gonna just Raju would like to know. What's your best prototype story?
Do you know what the flying squirrel is?
No.
You don't want to know. You just picture something nasty that should not be told on the air. And he did a promo about the flying squirrel. They used to have promo class to where you would step, Pesci, you're fired. You used to go in for promo class. They would give you a scenario. They would say a squirrel, a cage, and a bucket. And then you would have to cut a promo about a squirrel, a cage, and a bucket. And he did a promo about the flying squirrel. And nobody in here wants to know what the flying squirrel was. So that's how he got everybody's attention in promo class. Nobody could out promo him. They put him with me anyway. He did not need to be with me. And mainly he just made fun of me. He could have got a lot more heat if he'd done like Rico, because I'm a well-known atheist, and Rico is a very well-known Catholic. And so Rico would pray before every match, and he would have me go get on my knees and pray with him before each match. So the well-known atheist is praying with the Catholic, and then Cena's over there like we're all a bunch of idiots and making fun of me every chance he'd get. He said the reason that I didn't go to a SmackDown with him is because the seats weren't big enough on the plane because I was pushing 600 pounds back then, not the sculptured 312 that I am today. And he said that I would hate the catering, the food was terrible, and there wouldn't be enough of it. So that was his excuse for me not going to SmackDown with him. And those were good reasons for me. Bad seating and bad food.
So would you be excited to see him return to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship?
Anytime my guys are involved in main event matches, and not to brag about what a great manager I was, but a lot of my guys are up here still making all kinds of money. The Brock Lesnar's, the Randy Ortons, the John Cena's, the Dolph Ziggler's, the list goes on and on and on. And then if you name another manager from the state of Kentucky and you name everybody that he's got still in the business making money, and that list is going to be mighty thin. Would you agree with that, Mr. Mantell?
Well, I don't want to knock anybody.
No, it's not like you to knock anybody. Not like you to knock anybody, but me.
But that individual you talked about is still, I think, on speaking terms with me. And I think...
Oh, is he? Really?
I hadn't talked to him in 3 years, but I think.
Well, I got news for you, Dutch. He's not on speaking terms with you. If you haven't spoke to him in 3 years, I haven't spoke to him in about 4.5.
Okay, well,
but don't feel bad. He doesn't speak to Jerry Jarrett either. Who could not speak to Jerry Jarrett?
Jimmy Cornette told me that he taught you everything you know about the wrestling profession.
Yeah,
everything.
Well, he also told people that he paid for all my hospital bills and paid for my apartment, and neither one of those things are true either. So how much truth do you think is involved about teaching me everything that I know?
Okay, how did you get into business anyway, Kenny?
How did I get into business? Well, let me tell you exactly how I got. I thought Cornette was going to get me in. 7 years goes by, that don't happen. I thought Lawler was going to get me in. 7 years goes by since Cornette got in. That still didn't happen. Bill Dundee did a podcast with me, and he says, well, I'll tell you what, brother. He says, Jimmy Cornette never once put you over, never said a word about you wanting to be in the business. God dang it, if I'd have known you, I'd have got you in. I said, well, I didn't think I needed you, Bill. I was best friends with Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Cornette. I didn't think I needed Bill Dundee, who barely knew me, to get me in the business. And Dutch, by the way, Dutch and I started working. What was the name of that company? Was it ICE? IWA? Is that what they were called?
ICE was the company that arrested us.
Yeah. That was ICE. Okay. You think I'd remember that.
Yeah.
But Dutch worked with me, and I just fell in love with Dutch's booking and his tutoring. And even though I knew he hated my guts, he still tried to help me. And every time he'd do a promo against me, he said, because my real name at that time was Kenny Risen, and he knew that. But I knew I was changing my name to my birth name of Kenny Bolin. So he would go out there. Let me tell you something, Kenny Bolin. If that is your real name, and technically it was not, because I had not legally changed it. And I'm going, Dutch is just going to rat me out and just call me Kenny Risen one of these days. But to his credit, he never did. And I also remember, go ahead.
You're saying I got you into business.
No, actually, you taught me how to progress and advance in the business and not to expect too much, but because of your mouth, you'll probably make a little bit of money, but treat it like golf. But this is going to be a lot less expensive for you than golf, is what you told me. Actually, I was in line at a service merchandise pulling a switcheroo. I had bought one receiver and was returning back the cheaper version. So I was pulling a scam, because that's what I was in 1987. And in behind me at service merchandise stands Nick Goulas. I turn around, 3 or 4 customers.
Do you guys know who Nick Goulas is?
Shame on you if you don't. Oh my God! Look at the stunned look on their faces, Dutch.
I know.
Nick Goulas was the dean.
He was the stingiest.
He was that
promoter
ever
that's ever been created.
Never been one
guy. He had some Mexican guys working there, and they went up to him one day and he said, "Mr. Nick, we only make $70 last week." And Nick said, "That damn boy, it ain't what you make, it's what you save."
Ain't how much you make, it's how much you save. And if you were being paid a percentage of the gate, and one of the top stars would go up and say, "Hey, Nick, this looks a little light. We had about 4,000 people in here tonight." No, there wasn't that many paid tickets. Someone left the back door open. So that was his other excuse, is to get out of paying on a big house. We didn't have that many bought tickets. Someone left the back door open. And that excuse was used many times. But he's standing. I've never met Nick Goulas in my life. I've watched him on TV for years and years. And so I go back and introduce myself to him. And I said, "Man," I said, "I've been watching you for years and years." I said, "Such a thrill to meet you. And I'm getting ready to pull a scam. I'm trying to get a $500 receiver in exchange for a $112 receiver, because that's the shit I did back then." So I go back and introduce myself to him, and he says, "Well, you in luck, young man." He says, "You seem like you got some speaking ability, and you got any connections in the wrestling business?" I said, "Well, Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Cornette are 2 of my best friends." "And you're not in the business yet?" "Well, I tell you what, young man, I'll put you in the business. I'm starting a new television show here, and I'd like for you to, how'd you like to be the next Jerry Lawler?" I said, "Well, we already got one of those, but I'd love to be a manager or an announcer or something like that. Can I do that for you?" "Sure, come on down to the TV station. We're doing interviews. The job is yours." Just hired me at service merchandise. And I was thrilled, man. I was in heaven. I'm in the business now. So I call Cornette and tell him. Jimmy says, "My God," he says, "Kenny, I have never even worked for Nick Goulas." So Jimmy wanted me to come up with a managerial gimmick to where I was going to wear a tracksuit and carry a rule book. And every time there was an infraction of the rules, I would flip open the rule book and point out to the referee he screwed up. And then eventually in the match, take the rule book and crack somebody in the head, and Dutch fell asleep. Dutch is
No,
over.
I'm awake.
You're wide awake now. Go ahead.
I'm just kidding you.
Tell me what you know about Nick Goulas.
We went way over time anyway.
Nah, I said we was going 5 hours. We're way under.
Well, we do have one question that I'd like to get in here from Greg. We've had a few more questions. So yeah, Kenny, we'll have to get you back one of these days. Is there something that you managed that you feel should have been a bigger deal, like a Cena, like an Orton, or something like that? Somebody who should have been.
Cena was the draw, not by wrestling a business, but wrestling ability. But I am more impressed by promos than I am wrestling ability. Jerry Lawler will tell you right up front that he didn't make it big in the wrestling business by what a great wrestler he was. He made it by what a great promo he was. Dutch Mantell, I don't know where he rates his wrestling ability. He's pretty damn good, but Dutch's promos got you into the building. Promos get you into the building. And if you don't have the promo, you can have all the wrestling ability in the world. Somebody better be able to cut that promo for you. And that's why I wanted to get into managing, because I thought I could at least get them in the door and then let their wrestling ability take over from there. But as far as anybody being bigger, I thought Sylvester Turkey should have been bigger, but he had no promo skills whatsoever, even though I love him to death.
Who is that?
So he was teamed with Elijah Burke. Sly Turkey, they called him in WWE. Sly Turkey.
You guys know who he is?
I've heard the name.
He was teamed with Elijah Burke. Now, you got to remember, he advanced up around 2002, maybe 2001. And he got Bull Buchanan. He was my first ever WWE star that I sent up. I thought bigger things may have come for Bill Buchanan. He's now a sheriff in Nashville, I think. He's probably arrested Dutch a few times.
Stop it.
All right, once.
And you see, it calms down, Kenny.
And you can't do that behind an elementary school anyway. You should have known better.
No, it's a playground. It wasn't elementary school.
Those were tricycle seats. You got to leave those alone.
Yeah. Well.
As long as there weren't kids around, you were fine.
Okay,
Well,
they weren't.
Defeats
So
the purpose.
let's wrap this up, Mr.
Yes,
Rick.
we do appreciate everybody who has chimed in. Pesci, one more time, just to stick it to Kenny. One more again.
Everybody that donated can. Well, I won't go there, but we'll settle
We
it on my
appreciate.
show.
We love all of you, Kenny. This has been a blast. Appreciate you just stopping.
Well, of course it has. You took you long enough.
Plug whatever you got going on. You talking about
The bowling alley. You can tune in, catch the bowling alley. God, I do 3-4 shows a week. Sometimes I just finished 107 in a row. We're raising money for the Louisville metro area homeless and the Filipino typhoon victims. And regardless of what Dutch Mantell says, a good chunk of that money goes for charity. Even though he tried to expose me the other day, I said, "Well, I got the right to keep all that money, Dutch." He said, "Now you've ratted yourself out." But no, we honestly do. We donate every penny that's donated for the flood victims and the Louisville metro area homeless. Memberships is how I make my money. You guys are a big deal over here. You got 13,000 subscribers. I have a measly 2,750 subscribers. You guys should be making a ton more money than me. And now that I've shown you how to do it, I just want 40% of the gate, and I'll be fine.
There you go. He's a negotiator.
Dutch, where can people find you?
By the way, make sure to order my book on Amazon. I'm a big I'm a big deal in the book business. There you go. There's look at that, Dutch. Well, wrong book. Hang on. How about that book? You would order that, wouldn't you?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go. So yeah, go on Amazon.com, or you can order them from me personally. Just write my inbox on Facebook or Twitter. I'll sign it for you, put in an autographed picture, and send you a book and a couple of pictures for a measly $25.
Dutch, where can people find you?
Facebook is just
Prison.
Dutch Mantell. Prison usually are on leave. I get out passes on weekends sometimes. And Twitter, Dirty D Mantell, are on. I'm missing one. What is it? Something else. And my email address, Dirty Dutch Mantell with 2 L's at gmail.com. So
Sid,
everything I'm on is at Starmaker Bolin. So I'm easy to find. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Sid, how can we find you, Sid?
Yeah, you got your show tomorrow. Plug it.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at TrueHeelSP3. You can follow the YouTube channel True Heel Heat. We're going live with True Heel Heat 133 with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ tomorrow. So check that out, where we break down all the news across the wrestling world. So check out True Heel Heat. Check out my interview with Zach Gowen that's up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, as well as myself and Jeremy Bennett. We broke down the news earlier today.
He was with me in Ohio Valley Wrestling, so why don't I come over there and show you how to make some money on your show?
There you go. Come on over.
There you go. I'll just do everybody's podcast and make you all money. I got so damn much money I can't count it all anyway, so I'll just help you all make money.
I'm 33.
Dutch, how much money you need? What can I send you in PayPal?
$7.
$7? All right, you got it, man.
That's all I need.
I was gonna say I'm 33. I haven't figured out how to make money yet. You can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter at Rick Ucchino, spelled like you see on the board there. Also, keep an eye on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe there. We are inching closer to 20,000 subscribers every day. This coming Monday, I'll be talking to Johnny Gargano ahead of his big NXT title match against Karrion Kross Tuesday. So that will drop Tuesday morning. And if I've been working the phones correctly, I'll have a little bit more surprises for you guys next week as well, ahead of Money in the Bank. Guys, this has been an absolute blast. We appreciate everybody who has stayed the whole 90 minutes. I'm going to get yelled at because we went a half hour over.
They'll get over it.
They'll
get over it.
They'll see the super chat money. They'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. We paid for
my
that.
PayPal, by the way, cheapo, is Kenny Bolin at msn.com. Send it now, just to make sure you don't forget.
I'm sorry, you broke up. What'd you say?
That's what I thought. Dutch reminded.
I'm going through a time. We'll see you guys next week.